interesting feature of the IVA with the limit lines is indicated by taking our dual band combiner and adding on the high band port a feeder cable and terminating it with an open circuit. When sweeping the return loss, it's easily identified that the high band is failing at approximately -4 dB. This indicates the out and back through the filter and the cable. In order to determine exactly where the failure is, we might choose to add a trace for DTF. In this case, we're going to do a measurement out to, again, approximately 20 meters. In this case, we'll use 25 because of the filter's delay. We're also going to look at the frequency range. We're going to override the stimulus. It is not appropriate to measure outside the band pass response of the path that we're looking at. In this particular case, because we're measuring the high band, we know that to be 1710 to 2170. From our previous measurements, we're aware of the fact that our return loss was not perfect for this particular filter, but now with an open circuit in place, we're going to try to identify that. Under the limits, we're going to leave the limits on, but you'll see for this trace, there are no limits set up that specific DTF measurement. Again, going back to our return loss, touch the main plot, and we make the measurement. As before, indicates a delay, a little small clock, and then the DTF begins its measurement. And we see again that there is a marked peak at a location that we'll identify with a max marker. With trace 2 selected, again, we'll define a marker for trace 2. We'll make it a max marker, and we'll return to the plot where we see that again the filter is relatively electrically short. We still are at 13.68 meters, which was the length of the cable that we used previously, about 13 meters. So we've identified where the problem is accurately by going through just the band pass of the filter. We can save this again to the report by pressing the solid red dot. And if we wish, we could add photographs or other details. We can also go to trace 1 and see the limit lines are back on. To be noted is across the bottom, when you're on the trace 2, it's 25 meters. When I get to trace 1, it'll switch back to the frequency range that was measured for the limit lines to be displayed. Going to the report so that we can see what was added, we see a return loss and a DTF added with the feeder cable open tag describing exactly what goes on. If we want to check the details, we can see that the figure indicates a fail in the high band return loss, also indicated in the limit column. The DTF is not a pass-fail criteria, but in the particular plot, we can see the marker at -4.4 dB approximately at about 14 meters from us. This again can be converted to a PDF, and in this PDF we'll be able to see all the details from the report in a final format. And once again, each of the figures is separate. We can see the details, the distance to fault, the details for the 2 return loss plots.